One of my favorite preachers is Dr. Fred Craddock, and he has written many books, and I think I've read just about every one of them. But there is one story that he tells that I just love that story. It's a story of when he was a child, he and his dad went out in the backyard. It was a crystal clear, starry night, and his dad sat in a lounge chair and he laid on the green grass and felt the coolness of the grass of the evening, and each of them just looked up to the starry night, and his dad looked over at him and he said, "Now son, I want you to do something for me." He said, "Well, what is it you want me to do, Dad?" He said, "I want you to look as far into that night sky as you can. Are you doing that?" He said, "Yes, sir." He said, "Well, I wasn't quite sure what it was my dad wanted me to do, but I thought as far into that night sky as I could possibly think." And then my dad said, "If you're thinking as deep into the sky as you can, I want you to do something. I want you to take a stake in your mind and put it down as far into that night sky as you can place it." So well, I really wasn't sure what that meant, but I took a stake in my mind and I put it down into that night sky. He said, "Have you done it, son?" He said, "Yes, sir, I have." He said, "Now I want you to do something else." He said, "Well, what's that?" "I want you to pull that stake out, and I want you to think now even farther into the night sky. Can you do that?" So he laid there and he thought about it for a moment and discovered that he could. So he lifted up the stake in his mind and he placed it as far into the night sky as he could think at that moment. And then his dad said, "Have you thought now into the deepness of the night?" He said, "Yes, sir." He said, "Now I want you to think, what's on the other side of that stake? Now pick the stake up and move it again." All night, my dad and I sat there moving that stake deeper and deeper and deeper into the night sky. I think about that story often because it's so easy to think deeply into what we're doing and put a stake down, but so often what you and I tend to do is we cement that stake into the ground and we don't move it again. How many of our churches 100, 200 years ago put a stake down and somehow or another we have cemented that into the ground? It's time now to think on what lies on the other side of that stake and to pull those stakes up for the kingdom of God and now move them deeper into that kingdom than we have been willing or have dared to think before, and put it down again. I hope as Virginia Baptists, you and I will be moving that stake deeper and deeper and deeper into what it means to be the people of God and to what we experience called the kingdom of God.